Well, I love the album. I love what you're doing. It's such a great story. So thank you for taking a minute out. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So before we get into your latest album, I want to know first and foremost, 4 years ago, we were trying to figure out how we were going to get out of the pandemic, everything that was going into that. And it really did change us, and it really went through the artistic community in a very specific way. How did you make it through that time period? And how did it influence this latest album and the way that you do things now?
Well, for me, definitely pandemic was one of the best moments in my life, actually, when a lot of musicians, they were struggling. For me was like finding myself again with my instrument and composing a lot of music that today I am putting in this album. So definitely pandemic for me was something really important. That that was a comeback for me. That was an inspiration moment where I didn't have anything else to do besides playing the piano and composing a lot of things. And definitely for me it was great moment.
So Selah is the newest album. Oh yeah, no. So talk to me about the new album. Talk to me about how you put this together. There's such a sonic force that goes into this. What was your vision? What was your expectation and hope for this album?
Well, Selah definitely is a letter for music. This compiles all my arrangements and compositions I've been working several years. And the vision for this album definitely was telling a story without words. So every single song represents a lot of my life, a lot of the stages. And Selah is a Hebrew word that means the music never stops, and stop and listen. Basically, that's what Selah means, and that represents what the album concept is for me.
So there are a lot of influences. There's a lot of sonic textures that go into this album that have to harken to where you came from. So let's go back to where you came from. Tell me where you were born and raised and how the roots of playing music and getting into jazz, how did all this evolve into you today?
Okay, well, I come from Colombia, South America, where we have cumbia, we have porro, we have all of this type of music that definitely is different than what I am exposed these days. But I am from the YouTube generation, so I am the result of watching a lot of YouTube and putting every single transcription together and extracting the essence of every single music I was transcribing and putting into my music, into my style. I fall in love with jazz definitely because it was the music that challenged myself from the day one. And I said, you know what, I wanna work on that music. I love things that challenge me a lot. That's part of my personality, always overcoming, and be better than yourself every single day. That's my philosophy. And when I heard the first time Oscar Peterson, Bill Evans, Errol Garner, I told myself, Jesus, this is what I gotta start working hard for me. So, and that's the result.
So you threw out some big names there, but you had a big name that you worked with in the great Hubert Laws. What was that like?
Oh, that was an incredible experience having Hubert Laws on my record. What a legend, person that he left already his footprint in music. So definitely for me, it's an honor having such a hero playing on my record. Wow.
So how did you model your playing? Who were real big influences for you finding your voice in the world of jazz?
Well, Oscar Peterson definitely is my biggest influence. His joy, what he spreads when he is playing the piano, that was my main, and he is my main influence. Of course, it comes Bill Evans, Errol Garner, more in the old jazz. Now in the modern jazz, like Tigran Hamasyan, Eldar Dangiroff, all of these people with all the time signatures, Indian music, and world music in general, definitely helped me to define that on my music. And of course, like all the beautiful harmonies, beautiful melodies. It doesn't matter if it's too complex on the rhythms or too complex in the form of the song. Definitely, if it's a good melody and good message we want to spread through that melody, that's my main influence.
So, what was the first live jazz show you saw that blew you away?
The first live show, definitely the Montreux in with us. Well, on YouTube, because I didn't see Oscar Peterson in person, but that one was the first one. The Montreux in 90 something, Oscar Peterson. So it's the first thing that appears when you put Oscar Peterson, and I watched it completely and how he developed the entire concert. So inspired.
Absolutely. So, in this career that you're really getting traction on right now, was there a place, a stage that you wanted to play on that you finally got a chance to play on and you were like, wow, I can't believe this is happening?
Well, I always watch one of the best videos of jazz all the time for me, of course, my personal opinion, Java Jazz Festival. Watching all these incredible musicians going to Java Jazz Festival. Oh my God, when I got the email saying, oh, we want you to come to the Java Jazz Festival in 2023, for me, definitely was that type of moment. Like, wow, it's happening. So I am here.
So, talk to me a little bit about what you look forward to the most as a professional musician. What do you like the best about this process?
Well, the best about this process is finding your own voice because there's so many influences, so many things. But when you try to find your own voice in all of this, I think it's the main goal, it's the main thing, and keeping your path, and not looking everywhere else. I know I want to do this. Like try to find your own voice without copying anybody. I think that's what I enjoy the most about the process because it's really hard.
Yeah. Well, Miles Davis even said that it took him years and years to find his voice, and you've clearly found your voice. How did that happen? Did you have flashpoints? Was it an evolution? How would you describe the way that you arrived at your voice?
Well, we have a voice already, but definitely we keep developing that voice. I think it is the combination of so many things. It's combinations of it's not about transcribing everything and playing exact the same thing. For example, I never transcribed a complete solo. That's first of all. Second of all, I try to extract the essence of the playing of the people. For example, Chick Corea, he's playing that. Oh, why he chooses that? Why harmonically he chooses this and that? And Peterson, it's like a combination of everything that helps me to find that voice. Like, okay, I take, for example, if I gotta compare, oh, I see these recipes, I take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit, and put together my own plate, basically. That's what I'm doing.
So you've had the chance up to this point to learn from legends like Hubert Laws and other veterans that have been in the craft for a long time. What have you ultimately taken from these legends and luminaries and used to make your voice and what you're doing so powerful?
Well, I think the love of music, we definitely love music more than anything. And that's my main inspiration. And that's what keeps me grounded and keeps me making music forever.
Going back to the first question about the pandemic, there was a lot of fears when that happened. And I know that, you were younger then and you were really getting into the jazz world. Now that we've come out of it and live music is back and albums are getting released more and more, how strong is the world of jazz right now in 2024? How strong do you feel like the community is?
Well, definitely the jazz community, the people that love this music is not that big, but the ones that love this really enjoy this and literally they kill for this too. So that's my perception. We, the new generation, we have a big responsibility of keeping this legacy forever. That's the thing. How we try to do this, different ways, different styles of music, but it's not that I play like the traditional jazz swing or like jazz for me more than a style of music is a lifestyle. Then that's exactly what we gotta keep in our music, that freedom. For example, groups like Snarky Puppy, groups like all of Dirty Loops, like we have that responsibility of keeping this jazz essence, jazz lifestyle going on forever. So that's exactly how I feel, how it should be. And definitely the jazz community, I feel that it's a little increasing. It's increasing a little with all of these new people, young people, the social media world. So it's kind of interesting. So
Yeah, for sure. So at the end of the day, you've dedicated your life to this music. Why do you love jazz?
because it's a lifestyle and the freedom. You don't have rules at all. You can whatever you want. You can fusion here with that. For example, jazz with Colombian music works perfectly with world music. Like it's incredible. You just put a beat and start playing harmony over that beat, whatever beat it is, and it fits.
Yeah.
What a surprise. And the versatility that jazz gives to you. You can literally play whatever music style you want if you have jazz roots on you. And everything gonna be easy. It's my analogy about it is imagine learning how to drive a car with a stick, but really old. Once you get to the newest 2024 car automatic with no problem, it's so easy to drive, right? Because you have the roots on you, like, oh my God, I learned to drive in this hard car. So
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If you could get into a time machine and go back in time and see one jazz musician live, where are you going?
Oscar Peterson,
Oscar.
100% without
I
doubt.
figured. Yes. So if you could talk to Oscar, what would you like to know? What would you ask him?
Well, like how the process has been for you. Definitely, that's the first question. And how you have been developing your style to a certain point that you can notice that he's not thinking anymore. He just his fingers are going all over the place and doing all of that, and he's just enjoying. And asking him about the philosophy that he used to say that he doesn't play for the audience, he's playing for the music to keep in the room.
Yeah.
So the audience is witnessing what's happening between him and music, which is incredible. And things like this definitely helps me to understand better and play better.
So at the end of the day, everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, fans, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Definitely faith, family, and music.
Beautiful. So if anyone wants to pick up the new album in the proper way, catch you live, any of the good business going on in your world, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, all my socials, Jesus Molina Music, in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, jesusmolina.org, my website, all the tour dates, all the merch and everything. So that's the best way to go.
I love it. Jesus, this has been wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. You got a bright future ahead. It's so good to catch up with you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. Take care.
You bet. And before